Hey everyone, welcome to another Roblox Studio tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a clicker game. If you don't know what a clicker game is, it's a very simple game. As you can see, I click and I get $1. And as you can see, this updates whenever I click it. So we can get as much cash as we want. But what's this at the bottom? Ooh, look, a multiplier. So we can earn more cash by clicking the cash. So if I just click enough times here, I have 100 cash now. I go to the store, and as you can see, I can buy items for money. So if I buy this, now I have a higher multiplier, and now I make more cash whenever I click. So now, as you can see, we're making more cash, and we can get the multiplier more. These types of games can be addicting to Roblox users, so that's why I figured that today I would make one. In my doc, I have also supplied a bunch of cool ideas that I will list at the end of the video. Alright, that's enough of me. Time to move on into the tutorial. The first thing that we're obviously going to want to do is to create a new base plate. So I'm just going to click on the base plate here, and it's going to load up. So now I have my doc open, and to start we need a leader stats script, which is pretty easy to make, to be honest, but this one's a bit different because rather than using the basic int values that leader stats usually use, we're going to actually use number values. Now don't worry, I'll guide you through the script. Here's the first line, and I'll just copy and paste the rest. So I'm going to mainly be copying and pasting these because otherwise this would take forever. So if you want any of this code, just pause the video and type it. It should be high enough quality to see, I hope. If not, just comment down below and I'll send the code somewhere. Alright, next up is that we need to design the GUI. So to start, we need a screen GUI, and we need a frame. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, the frame has a little border right there. I don't like the frame border. Like, it's one of the things that I really don't like with GUI. So instead we're going to set the border size pixel to 0, and we're going to set the color to whatever we want. Size 1010. So now it'll fit the entire screen. We place it right in the middle, and there we go. Now the entire screen is a blue GUI. So next thing we need to do is we're going to need to add a text button. You can add any type of this, like an image button, but I'm just going to write click for cash. Now you can easily just use an image button for this and it'd work much better, but instead this is what I'm going to be using. So now obviously I'm going to set the background transparency, and I should probably be changing this around a bit. And there we go. So now we have some GUI. But we need more GUI, so we're going to add new text labels. Here's what we're going to write. 1, 0, 0.1, 0. Now as you can see, that goes right up there just fine. Background transparency, done, not an issue. Text scale, done, not an issue. Cash, $0. And now we simply just need to change the color to this. And oops, I forgot to do something. To make this GUI look a bit better, we could just turn this off, and there we go. So now, as you can see, the GUI looks a bit basic, but it'll be fixed. So we're gonna call this cash, and we're gonna call this one click. So now it's called click and cash. Next up, we're going to add another one. This one is going to be called multi. Stands for multiplier. So now we're going to have multiplier 1. And now we need one last one. So we're going to copy and paste click. We're going to place it right here. And we're going to call this shop. And we're going to set the text shop. We're going to call it shop. And there we go. I keep forgetting you can't save base plates. I feel like this is an actual game I'm developing. When in reality it's not. Now that we have a shop, we're able to close this frame for now. That's all we need to do for this frame for now. The next frame is going to be a bit more difficult. We're going to call this screen GUI from now on. We're just going to call this one base. Now we need another screen GUI, and we need to call this one shop. So now we have a shop, and we're going to add a scrolling frame. We're going to once again set the size to 1010. So now it should fit the entire screen, and now as you can see we can scroll with it. Now, aligning all the icons is difficult, so instead we're going to use a UI grid layout. Now we can customize it, so we'll keep it as its normal color. Actually, it kind of... Alright, we're actually going to change it a bit. For one, border size pixel 0, background color 3, we'll just do blue again. And now scroll bar image color, we'll make that a dark blue. There we go. Next up is we need a text button, and we need this to say item 1. Now you can make this easily like I did, an image button rather than a text button, and it'd work much better. But since I really don't want to find more textures, we're just going to use this for now. Next thing we need is an X button, so this button is actually going to be right here, and we're going to call it X. Background transparency off, background color, not background color, text color, there we go. Going to set it to red. It's called button at the moment, we gotta call it X. There we go. And now what we need to do is we need to scale this one down quite a bit actually. So we need to scale this one to about 0.1, 0, 0.1, 0, and now we place it up here. And there we go, we're done with the X button. Last thing we need for the shop is a text label. We want this one to be down here. We want to make it 1, 0, 0.1, 0. We need to scale it, and we need to say, welcome to the shop. Set the background transparency to 1. Not texture color, text color. Need to change it to that, and then change this like this, to 0. And there we go. Now that this is all done, we can set all this to visible false for now. Now, that is currently a really simple base. We're going to set this one to visible again, because we need to do some scripting with this. So the first thing that we need is the click for cache one, which, let me check if it's a script or a local script. Alright, let's see. Cache click script, it is a local script. So we need a local script for this one, which is very easy to get. And we can just do this. There we go. And there we go. So now as you can see, if we quickly hit play to test the game. We need to see if this actually works or not. So obviously a shop won't work yet, but we can click this and we get cash. This doesn't update yet, shop doesn't work yet, multiplier, we can't get any more, so we can't test that, but it doesn't work yet. So there we go, we have the start of our game. The click is working. Next thing that we need is the cash counter. We need to use a local script again, I believe. Yes, another local script. We need to use another local script. And this is what we need. So now, as you can see, just pause it real quick. Okay, I've given you all the time you're gonna get. Alright, we're gonna hit play. And we're going to click it, and the counter should go up. Yes, as you can see, the counter does go up. If I quickly go ahead and I give myself, you know, way too much cash, then as you can see, it kind of just says 1E plus. I wonder if I give myself like 2 billion. What does it say? Okay, it just says 2 billion. Alright, that's lame. And then we still click. Imagine clicking that thing 2 billion times. Oh my god. Alright, next thing we need is the shop opening thing. So now then. Alright, I'm grabbing the script right now. It is a normal script, but I want, if you're gonna make one of these, please make it a one-player server. That's how it's intended to work. So now as you can see, as long as your GUI all looks like, you know, this actually needs to be called close. So if all your GUI looks like this text label right here, the description, needs to be called description. Now, let's see if this works, because I believe I did it the same way. Click for cash works, shop opens perfectly. No errors. Perfect. Alright. Next thing that we need is the purchase item script. So we're gonna head on over to our scrolling frame. We're going to go over to item 1, and we're actually going to duplicate it. So we're going to add a local script into item 1 for now. And this is what we're going to type. As you can see, you can also do, you know, like, you can type local value equals 100, and then you can make the save value and the save value, rather than having to type 100 twice. But this is also fine. So now that should give us more multiplier. So if we, actually let's get the description one as well. So description 1 is even easier, so we are going to need another local script, and that's the local script we need. Very simple. Now, in my document, I didn't include the local script inside of the scrolling frame that's supposed to make the, you know, like, description thing reset, but if you saw my last tutorial on a shop GUI, you should know how to do that pretty easily. So look, see how it updates, and we can probably purchase it, so we're going to quickly just give ourselves 100 cash, and there we go. Our multiplier went up. Excellent. So now that all of this works, we can actually get rid of this one if we want to. If you want to. Alright, so next up is the X button. The X button is also very easy to script. We just need a normal script, and we need to type all this. So something very similar to the other one. As long as this one worked, this one should work. And then the multiplier counter would be pretty easy. We need a local script here, and we need this. Now, I'm going to quickly go over to later stats and change this, so cash dot value equals 1,000. So now we have a 1,000 starting cash. So we should be able to bring our multiplier to ×2, so we can test that out. So first off, we can click for 1 cash, we go to the shop, we purchase this a ton, we get double multiplier. The X button, main screen is not a, oh, I see. So because we called this base, we need to call this main screen instead of base. So now this should work. So click this, 1 cash, buy all this, we click this, that says multiplier ×2, and we click this, and now we get 3 cash. And let's quickly get over to 100 cash, so we can see if this also works with like decimal cash, like 2.1. And yes, it does indeed work with that. Few suggestions you could add: a tutorial that shows when you start the game. If you're turning this into an actual game, you should probably add that. Another important thing is a data store. A bonus event, it would happen randomly and maybe buff your multiplier temporarily. You could add hundreds of upgrades to keep, people interested. Custom GUI, like messing around with like the properties and stuff. Boss fights. Yep, you heard me, boss fights. So if you wanted to know how to do that, what you'd have to do is you'd have to click a certain amount of times in a time limit to defeat it. And I know what you're saying. Auto clickers exist. And I know what you mean, but just add a cooldown. Add a cooldown so you need a high multiplier to win. Okay? That's all you need to do. Literally, all you need to do, and make it so it has a health bar. A genuine boss would be really cool to see in a clicker game. And if you do make a clicker game with a boss, comment the link down below. And, actually, I don't trust anything that the fans make. Because one of you could easily send me a virus game and get my account hacked. Alright, whatever. Forget about it. If you made a really cool clicker game with a boss fight, send me a video. Send a video to my Discord, which should be linked on screen right now. But anyways, that's it, guys. I'll see you all next time.